The absolute bitchery of these women it floors me. Greetings, my fellow nuts. Squirrely Girl here from the Boy Meets Squirrel podcast, and we're doing something a little different today. We're doing a reaction video to some of the worst examples of female entitlement I have seen thus far, and that's really saying something, so bear with me. Here it goes.
So there's a few things that I don't do as a married woman. Number one, I do not cook for my husband. I only cook for my children. My husband will be making his own breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Number two, I do not help him pay any bills. So if he is short on the rent, on utilities, or anything like that, it is not my problem. I will not be helping him out. His job is to provide for his family, so I am not financially contributing to any of the bills. Number three, I do not do his laundry. I have my own laundry and my children's laundry to do, so he could do his own. I won't help him put it away. I won't help him fold anything. That's his responsibility. Number four, he is responsible for replacing any of his essentials like soap, shampoo, anything like that. He needs to go buy it himself. Even if I'm at the store, I will not be replacing it for him. If he needs new underwear, new socks, or anything like that, that's for him to do. I'm not going to do it for him. I'm not going to enable a perfectly grown-ass adult, because then they get used to that shit, so.
Okay, so a couple things. First off, the cooking thing makes absolutely no sense. Like, if you're already in the kitchen cooking meals for yourself and your children and dirtying the dishes, it's not any more effort on your part to make that man a meal. I mean, what is he supposed to do? Come in behind you and cook his own meal so that he can sit down and eat with you as a family? That makes no logistical sense. As to the rest of it, baby, that man's not your husband. He's your sponsor, all right? You have brought absolutely nothing to the table. You won't do his laundry. You won't even buy his essentials for him. Again, which if you're already at the store buying stuff for you and your kids, it is actually more of a hassle to make him go back, and that's a waste of gas because you're already there. But like, what are you doing? What is even your purpose of being in this relationship? I assume this man is the father of your children, and if he's not, he needs to run very far, very fast, because all you're using him for is his money. And there's a word for that, or at least there used to be, and I personally think that we should bring it back because shame should absolutely be a thing again. Like, make shame a thing again. I would totally be behind that. But like, baby girl, what are you doing? The level of entitlement, you don't want him. You don't want to, get him used to taking care of him, but you still expect him to provide for the family. Like, you still expect him to pay all of your bills and all of your children's bills, but you're not willing to do anything for him. So why does he need you? All right? I can only assume that you have either blackmail on him to keep him in a relationship with you, and to put up with your bitchery, because no man I know would be willing to put up with that for long periods of time. I certainly wouldn't. No woman would put up with it. But you seem to think that it's perfectly okay to do so. That you're entitled to that man's money when you are not giving anything in return, because relationships are about reciprocity, give and take. You get what you give, and baby girl, you ain't given anything. So why on earth do you think he should give you anything? And that includes money and or time. Like, this is what I mean when I say the audacity, the level of bitchery that this woman is displaying is just, it floors me. But we'll move on.
I have been married to my husband for almost 2 years now, and I've decided there are just some things that I am done doing and some things that he needs to step up to the plate to more often, so here they are. I am at home with the baby all day, and so I think my husband can be the one who does bath time. I don't care if he gets home late. He hasn't seen his daughter all day, so he can do the bath time. Like, I need a break. That also goes for walking the dogs. I feel like he can squeeze that in sometime before it gets dark, whether that's before bath time for our daughter or after doing the dishes, after cooking dinner. He'll figure it out. I am also going to have him up my weekly allowance. I want to get Starbucks every day.
All right. She had me up until she said weekly allowance. Because, like, I get it. You're tired at home all day with the baby, that's a little bit different than having kids grown that are in school and you're not doing anything else all day. That I totally understand. And yes, regardless of how hard either parent has worked, there is no break time from being a parent. Like, you are a parent 24/7. That was the lot you decided on when you decided to have kids. So he comes home from work and you're like, baby, I'm tired. Can you just do bath time? That's fine. Even walking the dog, because the dogs are both, pets are everyone's equal responsibility. And like I said, she had me up until she said weekly allowance. And I think because she wants Starbucks. Starbucks is not a necessity. All right. In today's modern age, I see so many women and men too, but mostly women who have confused comfort with necessity. Do you know how easy it would be and so much cheaper to, one, learn how to make your own pumpkin spice latte? Like, I know the spice must flow, but it is cheaper to do it yourself. Buy a good coffee maker. I have one at my house because I absolutely adore coffee. You can probably get it out of my veins. If a vampire were to eat me, they would get a caffeine buzz from doing so, but I digress. I have a really fancy one with a hopper in the top. You put in the beans, it grinds it for you, and then it makes the coffee. It only costs about $130. Buy that, and then make your own damn coffee at home. Because there is no reason why you need to be buying a venti anything that costs upward of $10 a cup, depending on what you put in it. All the different add-ins and oat milk and this and that and extra this and extra that and blah, 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 yakety smackety with sprinkles on top. Because $10 every day adds up. I can see maybe getting a special treat once a month, if that. But if you've got a baby at home who's in diapers, you ain't got money left over to buy Starbucks. Not when they need diapers, because diapers are expensive. I don't have high hopes for this one either. She sounded reasonable to start, but then she got us in the second act, so let's see where else she's going with this.
I've also decided that I am done with the Call of Duty. Like, he plays 2 nights a week, and I'm cutting it down to like 2 hours on a Sunday night because he has to wake up early next morning, so I'm guessing that that'll probably cut it back even more, and I don't have to worry about it.
This is another thing that pisses me off. Apparently men aren't allowed to have hobbies. We're allowed to have hobbies. Like Bridgerton, Criminal Minds, all murder mysteries, book clubs, whatever, what have you. But men aren't allowed to have hobbies. So this man works, I assume, long hours, comes home. He's allowed to play Call of Duty. And guess what? While he's playing Call of Duty, you can put the baby down for a nap and you can do whatever you want. You want to micromanage his time and say he's not allowed to do XYZ and relax. Because what? You feel like you're not able to relax either? Why don't you, if you really, really resent the fact that he gets that kind of time and you're taking care of the kid, switch. He can stay home and parent, be the full-time parent, and you can go to work. And then I bet you if that were the case, then when you come home and you want to play 4 nights a week or every night a week for all I care, play a game or scroll on your phone or make stupid TikToks about how entitled you are or complain about how your husband isn't doing anything. He is, by the way. He's paying not only your bills, his bills, and your kids' bills. He's covering the financials for the entire household while you sit there on the internet and complain about how he's not doing enough. But I digress. So if that's the case, you have the right to do that because you're working. I somehow highly doubt that he would be as resentful of you as you seem to be of him. But we're going to finish this video out. Again, I don't have high hopes, guys.
And only one more thing. I want more date nights, which I think he can pay for since he's the man. And my girlfriends deserve the best. We should be able to go out to dinner and see a movie or two. So, yeah. And if my husband doesn't agree to all these things, then I'm not putting out. So.
First of all, date nights. You want more date nights? Why on earth, with that kind of treatment, would this man want to go on a date with you? I certainly wouldn't. And then you said something about your girlfriends deserve the best. So you're not even talking about date nights with your husband. You want to go on, like, girls' nights out. It is not his job to sponsor your girl's trip. Okay, there's a word for that, like I said in the first half of the video. There's a word for that, and it's not a good word. Like, you might want to scale that, like, examine, like, go look in a mirror before you, like, you said that with your whole chest. We, as women, tried so hard to get away from that. We spent a century trying to get away from that idea that we can't support ourselves and that we don't need a man to provide all of our luxuries. And here you are going backwards. Like, all the way backwards. But the crowning coup de grace here, the cherry on top of this whole thing, is if he doesn't agree to this, you're not putting out. You're using your body as currency. That is exactly what you're doing. The level of horror-y, not to mention the bitchery, but the horror-y in that one statement: if my husband doesn't cave and treat me like the princess that I think I am, I'm not giving him the emotional needs he needs. I expect him to follow my emotional needs and support me and all of the things I want, but I am not going to give him the basic, bare minimum reciprocation. Because here's the thing that your grandma and your mom probably forgot to tell you, and that feminism has definitely forgotten to tell you. For men, physical intimacy and emotional intimacy are the same thing. They are entwined. Him wanting to be close to you is not about him getting off. I mean, that's part of it. But mostly, it is about him being close to you, feeling connected to you, being with you. And you're going to deny him that emotional need because you have decided you are entitled to all these things. You expect him to support you emotionally and materialistically with all of your entitlement. But you absolutely refuse to perform the bare minimum requirement for a committed relationship, and that is emotional intimacy. You are withholding that from him. You are using it as currency. And like I said, honey, there's a word for that, and it's not a good one. So there you have it. In conclusion, women like this, who are entitled and feel entitled to their partner's money while being absolutely unwilling to provide anything in return other than, oh, look at me, I'm pretty. Which is a slap in the face, by the way, to every woman who has come before them who tried so desperately hard to be viewed as something other than a pretty face. Like, feminism fought for years to be seen as we are independent of thought, we are strong in our opinions, and we shouldn't be valued solely on how we look. Like, we have more to offer than that. And here you have a group of women, the new generation of women, who that's all they're offering. I'm pretty. That's all I need to bring to the table is I'm pretty. And he should feel honored that I even give him the time of day. And to that, first of all, no, you're not that pretty, unless you're a goddess. And even then, the goddesses of old, Freya, the Morrigan, Demeter, Hera, Persephone, Isis, they all provided a service. Like, in order to be worshipped, they provided something to their worshipers. They helped with the harvest, they helped with the grains, the rains, all the things that people prayed to them for. They provided those things, and in return for that provision, they were worshipped. Women these days want to provide absolutely nothing of substance and yet get that same level of worship. They want men to worship the ground they walk on. They have put themselves so up high on a pedestal that I'm surprised they can breathe because the air is so thin up there. But maybe that's what's going on. Maybe that is why these women think that it's okay to do this, because they've been up that pedestal so much and the air is so thin that they're not getting enough oxygen to their teeny tiny little brains to realize that this kind of behavior is only going to hurt not only them, because if these men do not leave them, I will be very surprised. This kind of attitude does not keep men, and it shouldn't. No man should put up with this behavior. They should run very far, very quickly, and take the kids with them, because if they do this to men, they're going to do the same kind of entitled behavior to their children. I'm mommy, I deserve this. I'm mommy, I deserve this XYZ. And that's not how parenting works. You provide for your children don't have to provide for you. And your love is not currency. Just like intimacy with your partner is not currency. So ladies, for all of you out there that are asking, where have all the good men gone? They're avoiding you like the plague because y'all think this is okay. And it's not. Do better. And truly, truly examine yourselves in the mirror, because you all think that men, y'all are the prize. You're not. Men aren't the prize, women aren't the prize. The relationship is the prize. The relationship and the life the two people in that relationship build together. That is the prize. And none of y'all are going to find it if y'all are so busy walking around with your heads up your asses.